I wanted to shift gears here and talk about a couple things real quick. We wanted to talk about AMP and where it is right now.
I have a lot of opinions on AMP.
Well, it's being tested to appear in desktop searches now, right? Should we start building all of our websites in AMP code? I'm going to tee that one up to you.
All right. So I dislike is probably not a strong enough word. How do you say it?
Abhor? Yes. Yep. Wow.
I hate AMP.
Oh.
It's really because Google believes that no one can code. There's this concept called the critical rendering path, and they have a lot of documentation around that, which basically says like how you organize your code, how you compress assets, how you minimize your HTTP requests, things like that.
Right.
How all that impacts load time.
Right.
And so all AMP is that in a CDN.
Right.
So they kind of remove some features that are allowed, like JavaScript and things like that, and they force you to make your page as minimal as possible. So the thing is, you can achieve those same results if you just write good code.
If you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So it's like Google being like, okay, you guys are dumb. We're gonna make you do it this way.
And by the way, you have no control over the how this thing renders.
Right.
You've got no way to control conversions.
Right. So it's like, and it's also a step back in that, before they were like, okay, you guys have these two versions of the page. We don't want you to do that. Do responsive. Oh, wait, no. Go back to having two versions of the page because you guys really suck at making responsive sites. So, I don't know. And the other thing about AMP is I think it's another one of those things where if it doesn't get a lot of adoption, Google will just drop it. Right. So, I think that them starting with the news publications was a good way to get adoptions quickly.
Right.
And I think, and this is actually Cindy Crumb's idea. She thinks that they are going to start they want to get enough of a sample size that they can basically use machine learning to convert pages from regular HTML to AMP.
Oh,
so that they don't need you to, do it.
So Skynet is still alive and vibrant now. They're going to take it.
You know what's funny about that comment? Because Google actually has all the things that comprise Skynet. So they could actury become Skynet.
Rank Brains, the AI, the core Sky. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like AMP because it's like, it's taking all the control from you, and you could replicate all of that yourself by just putting you're hosting your site on like Google Cloud and then just optimizing your code. Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And where we had some really good compliance optimization and W3C compliance, and you're absolutely right. It's like they decided, okay, we can't let you control your own destiny. Play in our sandbox, and we are not going to allow you to really do anything with that space. And I mean, they do play heavy-handed in so many scenarios. And my lord, why? If you're trying to embrace and open up another channel of communication to SEOs and web dev across the world, why? I mean, it's almost like I'll liken it to the Apple environment. You just can't break in that Apple source code. They'll close it down, and you can't play in their sandbox unless they allow you to play in it. And that's what the AMP environment's starting to look like. AMP is about speed, which is a very important ranking factor for Google, right? And as well as user experience. Do you see AMP being a ranking factor in the future?
No. I mean, it depends on adoption, because like we speculated about all this stuff during authorship and such as well. Like, if they had enough people that did it, then they could use it as a ranking signal. But if it only represents, some small percentage of the web, how could you then use it as a ranking signal? It would really over-index for people that do SEO rather than the people that are just making great content. So I don't see it being a ranking factor until the adoption gets up tremendously.
Well, we're certainly see that AMP icon starting to make its way into the mobile. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And we certainly see the mobile icons out there. We were just looking at this, going, all right, if they're putting that much time and investment into this, I mean, I think this has the moniker of not the same type of Google, bait and switch where they want you to focus so much and then they'll move and devalue. All the signals are there that they're in this for a long journey. Well, that's in my opinion.
I would argue one thing too. You had said about user experience, and
right.
I don't agree with Google that speed is the only user experience. Like
right. No,
I don't want to read an article that looks like every other article.
Yep.
I love seeing people's use of JavaScript now on mobile devices and interactive elements and everything else. And so I feel like they're taking away some of the incredible advancements that we've had in
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but at the same time, how many times have you been like frustrated? You click something on Twitter and it takes like 10 seconds to load. Like, I get what they're going for, because they're thinking more for those users that are like, I just want to read this article real quick. I don't care what it looks like.
But like
but at
iOS,
the same time, I think one of the other issues that we need to figure out, or they need to figure out, or they and Facebook need to figure out, is they have these two separate standards. They have this instant articles thing, and we have AMP. So how are you going to make all that stuff play nice together?
Yep.
Well, the thing though is that, like, we have those. We have reader modes on mobile devices,
exactly,
and we have tagging to make sure that
That's
people
fair.
can just hit that and display it in a simple
give
format.
it back to the consumer.
Yeah.
If they want to fly quickly,
Yeah, exactly.
then let me turn my AMP switch on, and
Yeah.
I'll navigate around and see the article how I want to see them. Right?
Yep.
That's a good point.